Gullah Gyal, what it do? So, I learned something about myself today. I learned in the power of patience. Having patience not just with others, but patience within yourself. Okay? I went to get my passport at the post office. Second time going. The first time I didn't have my birth certificate, and so I knew, okay, I had to come back. But the thing is, I don't have a regular birth certificate. I have an authenticated state sealed birth certificate, in which is a whole nother story, but it's not something I can mail off. And I thought they were gonna just need copies of it, so I brought it anyway. And he was like, no, we mail the birth certificates off with the passport. I was like, okay, so I'm just understanding the process a little bit more. And they were behind, on appointments, because you have to make an appointment. So they were behind. And so I had to wait like an hour. And I was cool with it. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, it happens. But the thing is, I went to the counter because there was only two guys that handle it. So I went to the counter. The guy called me up. And then he saw that I didn't have the back part of my application filled out from the first time, but I wasn't told that I needed to fill it out. I thought I had everything already done, and all I had to do was bring back the birth certificate. But that was just a part that I didn't see. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go fill it out. And I had to go feed my meter anyway. So I filled it out, and then he had called the other guy up. He was like, I'm gonna have to take somebody else. I was like, that's fine, that makes sense. And so I'm waiting, and so I'm just kind of watching him. He's interacting with the guy. It was a Hispanic man, and he was speaking Spanish to the other guy. Like, they were speaking Spanish, so they were both Hispanic. And he was helping him fill out the paperwork that he told me I had to fill out. And he was filling it out for him. The guy was perfectly capable of understanding how to fill out paperwork because he was speaking with me in English while we were waiting for our appointments. So it was kind of interesting, and I was just kind of making the observation. So the guy that worked there looks at me like, he was talking about how the other guy would be right back to help me. He was like, you would have been done if you just had that part filled out. Like, he just kind of made a unnecessary remark to me because I was just standing there waiting. I didn't say anything. I was just waiting patiently. I was waiting patiently. I was just, and I was just kind of looking like, what was his reasoning for telling me that? I don't know, but okay. And I was just seeing that he was trying to pull and tug at my strings. Like, he was trying to see if he could get some kind of reaction out of me, or so it seemed. And I didn't even say anything. I was like, I'm not going to say nothing. So I just kept my mouth closed. I envisioned my crown on my head, and I said, there's no reason for me to get in any kind. I'm not upset that I have to wait. I'm not impatient. I'm like, whatever. And then it was funny because there's a thing within the energy field, like within our in a metaphysical aspect when it comes to energy, and people have to be alert of this. There are entities that like to feed upon our energy as humans, right? They feed on us. And so what they'll do is try to attach to a host. And what this host will try to do is create a reaction to get you to do something. So what he wanted from me, what this entity was using him for, was to try to get me to create a reaction so that he can be in his stance as this authority figure. But he wasn't going to get that out of me. And the reason why I knew that is because of some things within my vision that I kind of was seeing that led up to that point to prepare me for the moment. And as soon as, not long after that interaction occurred, she was like she was maybe Asian. This Asian lady down a couple of kiosks down starts getting like loud and kind of irate with the lady that worked at the post office. She was coming in with this just, you need to blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And the lady was like, you don't need to get hostile with me, and you need to calm it down. She was asking what it meant. So a situation occurred. So whatever entity was in that place that needed to cause a disruption within the energy within that field couldn't use me, so it went on to her and caused some kind of reaction. And soon, even after that, it was kind of like an effect, because then a guy that originally talked to me, the Hispanic man, gentleman, whatever y'all you want to call him, guy, he said he calls out 2 names, and another guy gets smart with him in the line. And I'm just sitting here observing it all. And I felt so good. And then the black guy came back and he was helping me. And then I was telling him, oh, shoot, I don't have a birth certificate that you can mail off with my application. So I'll just come back. I was already prepared in my head that I would probably have to come back, because the birth certificate I had I was like, it's probably ain't gonna work. And I couldn't cancel the appointment. So I just decided to go anyway. I'm not going to that post office again to get it though. I was like, now I know to go somewhere else. But he was like, he seemed more frustrated than me at the fact that I'm the one that wasted my whole time waiting here. You just got off break, like lunch break, and came back, and you seem like you're more irritated than me. So I ended up leaving, but I was very proud of myself, because I was like, you know what? In a situation that could have caused frustration and impatience, I allowed myself to be calm. And that's what it means to be on your throne. Like a wise man once told me. He said, when people trigger you and you get out of your peacefulness, out of your mode, and I call it my crown, my divinity, when people knock you off that to where you feel like you want to yell, scream, cuss, fight, do whatever, that person has knocked you off your throne. That person has knocked your crown off your head, and you sunk down to their level, to a lower level entity, and caused yourself to be put in a position to where you are no longer looked at as a divine entity. Now you have allowed ego to take place and take form. And that's what egos and, like I said, whatever these unseen entities that are all out here, these parasitic influences that are out here are attaching onto people and causing all kind of craziness. And so one thing we have to remember is just to stay strong within our crown. So when somebody it's not easy, trust me, it takes a lot of work to get there. But when somebody's trying to push you to your edge, keep your mouth closed. And what I do is keep my tongue on the top palate of my mouth, because we have these meridian channels that flow through our body. That's for a whole nother video, but it's a meridian channel. But when you attach your tongue to that point, you're connecting those energy centers, and it gives you a powerful aura. And what it also does, not only gives you a power, but it also shields and protects your energy. So that's a little tidbit. It protects your energy. So when somebody's saying something, instead of opening your mouth to say something back, keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and or if you see a situation unfolding or somebody's about to come to you and you don't want to be bothered in a sense, just keep that tongue at the roof of your mouth, and that situation will not bother you. But what we need to learn as a species, as a people, is to learn how to not always have to project our voices, project ourselves to a situation. Sometimes the most power, they say silence is golden. Silence is truly golden. Sometimes you just have to be quiet. Don't speak. Don't say anything. And when you get into a situation and you exercise that power, you're going to feel how powerful that is, because you're going to feel you keeping your energy. Because when you know what I'm saying, give them back what they want, you feel yourself depleted. You're depleting your energy in that way. But if you stay quiet and you keep your energy, you don't give nobody else anything to feed off from you. So I saw that today, and I was proud of myself today, darling. And it gave me a chance to go to the store, and I go to this, I'm all up in the camera. How you doing, darling? But I'm trying to grab something. But it gave me an opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity to get out the house. I was going to go to the gym because it was leg day. But whatever, I'll do a home workout. And I went to the store, and I said, this is a perfect opportunity for me to go to the apothecary place and get my ashwagandha. I'm not going to show their name, but my ashwagandha tincture, because ashwagandha is an adaptogen. So you take it and it helps to kind of calm you down anyway. So it helps to relieve stress and to kind of put you in a good mood anyway. So I was like, perfect. So let me just go ahead and continue to feed this patient energy that I have adapted to. But I can go deeper into it, but that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm so proud to have patience. So have patience in situations, and it's okay to be humble in a situation. But I'm gonna make that for another video, just because I don't want this one to get too long. But I want to talk about humbleness and what that really means. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's not lowering yourself. Humbleness is actually a very noble trait to have, and I can go into detail on what that actually means. So but that's it. I'm just proud of myself. Just make sure you always stay patient in every situation, and don't let nobody knock you off your throne, because what they're going to do when you sit into your power, when you sit in your divinity, people see that. They see that on a subconscious level, and they want that from you. Don't give it to them. Don't give them your power. And remember, don't look for yourself out in this world. Don't let the world influence you too much. Don't let it take you out of who you are. Instead, when you look at the world within you, you hold on to that world, you hold on to that power, and then you bring it to life, because you recognize that, okay, how about this? When you look at the world within yourself, you realize that you're creating a reality. So anything outside of your reality, because we live in parallel realities with other people. So we don't allow that other reality over there to affect our reality that's right here in this little bubble right here. Don't let that reality affect this reality. So therefore, don't allow them to knock you off your throne or bring you into their world of frustration or whatever the hell they got going on within their own mind. We don't know. So don't let it affect you. That's all. So don't look for yourself out in that world. Look for the world within you and bring that to life. Gullah, Gyal.